Welcome to this video about how to look at and read and approach the functional skills question which is in front of you, which is task 3. Now, first thing to do is not panic by it, but actually start to think about what it's got to do. Now, remember, this is level 1, so it's not going to be massively complicated, so we're not going to be using all sorts of very, very complicated formulas, and it's not necessarily going to take that long. So what's this about? Gemma needs to know the total income for the sale of flowers. She's provided you with flower sales data. So straight away, if you've gone remember your lessons, something to do with Excel, I'd imagine. Okay, so think about that. So, it's an Excel type question. Use IC to calculate the income. Okay, then it talks about multiply by the number sold. Okay, we're familiar with that. Formatting data and so on. So we think, okay, this is an Excel question. So the first thing we need to do is we've got to find this flower sales data. Okay, so let's go and find that. Okay, so that should be in your exam data. So it's this one here, flower sales data, and it opens up this. Okay, so we've got flowers, types, bunches sold, and the price. Okay, now if it's Excel, we want to do all the calculations within that. So we're going to copy all of this, so we can just highlight all of that. Right click, copy, okay, whiz into Excel. So you would do start all programs, Microsoft Office and Excel, open it up, okay, and let's paste this data in, okay, and just format it a little bit. We'll do that a little bit more later, okay. And just go back to the question, what did she want? She wanted to calculate the income for each type of flower sold. And it says here, income for each type of flower is the price multiplied by the number sold of that type. So it's the type of flower is the price multiplied by the number sold. So let's go and have a look at that. It sounds a bit confusing, but it says the price multiplied by the number sold. Okay, so we don't it's not a percentage markup, it's just a very, very simple formula, okay, to get that multiplied by that. Okay, just to really sort of break that down, let's pretend that we had t-shirts, okay, and they were £10 each, and I sold one. What would be the total sold? What would be well, we know that'd be £10. We wouldn't write £10 down in Excel because that wouldn't get us very good marks. What we would want to do is do a formula for that. So equals, it would be the amount, so J5 times I5. Okay, so it's really, really simple. And if I put in 890, it works it out. So just to approach this, we've got to realise it's a multiplication. Okay, so we put in total income. Okay, and the total income. Okay, can you work out what the formula would be? I'll give you a second to have a think. Okay, the total formula, sorry, the formula would be D4. So we start for equals D4. It's highlighted. See, it's highlighted that. Okay, times E4. Okay, press return. Okay, does that sound, and again, remember what we've said in lessons, does that sound the right sort of amount? So 2 times 130 is 260, and half of that, yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, now what we can also do, okay, is copy this down for the rest of them. Okay, copy this all the way down. So copied it at the top, right click, paste. Okay, and that's brought through all of these. Now, does this sound correct? So let's go through here and see if that is roughly correct. Yeah, this sort of figure down here, that looks correct. There's nothing outrageous. There's no error messages. Okay, and so on. So we've done the total income. Okay, just check. Calculate the total income for each type of flower sold. Income, okay. Fine. Use ICT to calculate the total income from all the flowers. Okay, so back to our spreadsheet. it's the total income. So this is the total income this way, but actually we want the total income down here. So down at the end, let's put a little total. Okay, and we want all of this totaled up. And do you remember what you can do? Well, you can actually go use the sum. Okay, so you can use this one here. So sum. Okay, and then it highlights for you the range. So is it between F4 and F43? F4, F43, spot on. Okay, we could do that another way. Equals sum. Okay, we could go on it's a function, remember. Double click and it says, right, what's the number range 1? So it goes from there, number 1, there we go, all the way through. We can do it this way. Yeah, close the bracket. Does that sound right? Done. Okay, so back to here. So use ICT to calculate token. Done that. Make sure the data is formatted appropriately and clearly displayed for Gemma. Okay, we need just to work on a little bit of formatting. Quite straightforward. These are all pretty much the same font. Well, let's put in a title. Whoops. Sorry, let's put some bold and underline that. Let's also make this all centered so it looks okay, and just bring this over here. What we could do also while we're here is put in a box, sorry, not a box, a grid. Okay, so that looks a bit better. And also it's always really good to put in a title, so flower prices. Okay, that just shows that you've taken some time to do that. This looks all okay here. Total, let's put a nice bold and underline on that. I did Control B, Control U, or you can do it up here if you want to. Okay, and that looks pretty good. Okay, so one thing that we also need to do is, like, what evidence do we need? To print out the data Gemma provided, including the information you added. Okay, so what we would do there is we would go back to here, and we can print this. And just to make it easy, you can zoom right down. So we'd want all this. Now, a quick way of just printing this data, because if you just print here, it's going to bring through, it's going to print pages and pages and pages and pages. You've got to be a bit careful. But actually, I can just print what I need. So I've just highlighted what I want to do, and then go print, file, print. Okay, and I can just say, well, I want to print my selection. Okay, and it's just going to print that one page for you. Okay, and then press print. Oh, before you print it, you probably spotted it. You've got to put your name on it, because when you print it, if there's no name, it goes in the bin. So let's put in here your name. So when we print that again, print. Okay, make sure it's got the selection there, and then print it off it goes, and that will be given back to you by the invigilator. Okay, next thing is print out how he shows you IC to do calculations, e.g. formula printout. Okay, so we've got to go into our evidence, okay, and put in how we did this. Okay, so type in, this is how I calculated the total income for the flower shop. Okay, so first of all, there's no reason, it wouldn't hurt to put a screenshot of everything you've done there. So we can do that. That's not okay. Let's just move that down a bit. Print screen that into here. Paste that in there, and let's crop that so we can see that. Now when you're cropping it, just make sure you leave the fact in that it is actually Excel. Okay, and then we can zoom that up a bit here. Okay, making sure it's clear. Okay, and we also need to show that we've used formulas. So you remember how we use formulas? Okay, what do we do to show the formulas? Well, we can click on them, but we want to see all of them. Well, you can go up to formulas, show formulas. Okay, and we could do a couple of screenshots, couldn't we? Screenshot, just press the button, go into here, paste that in here, paste that in there. Okay, and we could do another one just so we can see the total income being added in there. So print screenshot that, pop that in there, and if you really want to, you can crop that. Okay, make that a bit bigger so we can see that. Format and crop that, so you get a good idea of that as well, and make this bigger as well. Okay, there's no harm in wasting space. So what we've got there is we can see task 3, a little bit of introduction. Okay, and we can also see the evidence of you using your formulas to get the answer, and that is pretty much all that you need to do for task 3. Hope you've learned lots in this video, and I'll speak to you next time. Take care.